Everyone must agree that Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic is one of the best FNAF games in all of the franchise, with how unique the gameplay is and the location itself. The location's atmosphere changes drastically between each part of the facility. The facility itself is different from any other location we have seen in a FNAF game before, as it no longer is a children's pizzeria or massive entertainment mall like the Pizzaplex with its colourful and bright lights, but the Mari Costume Manor facility is much more compact and claustrophobic, with there being offices, storage shelves, mascot suits and boxes crammed through the long tight hallways. Before I could finish my first playthrough of the game, I already had ideas how I could recreate this in Minecraft. Here I've outlined everything that we'll be building in the first episode of the series, with the mascot costumes, cardboard cutouts and boxes and shelves and much more crammed in the corners of each room. So now we can start getting onto the speed build itself. Now with about 5 hours worth of building, we now have all the parts of the location that I wanted to do and get done in this video. And I've added some light blocks around the build, as you may have noticed, because I don't want to have the build being pitch darkness and having to use night vision. Now I've also added custom player heads throughout the build to make it more accurate and just to give it more lively feel. I've also added the door and the vent that leads into the power room. And even though this vent doesn't lead anywhere at the moment because I haven't connected it to the office where it's meant to be, but it is still nice in addition. Now here's the first power puzzle, and then a mascot suit there will contain the Fazbear employee. And then over here, we have added none of the mascot suits because I want to make these ones into armor stands, just like Mr. Helpful over here. So any mascot suit that you haven't seen brick built will be made into an armor stand model, like these two over here, like the Monty and Mr. Hippo, and then up here, as you can see, just this Jester, because at the moment I've brick built the Jester, but I will turn him into an armor stand pretty soon. Now if you go into here, we'll make it into the power room, like this one as well, another model down here. Then this one, however, is fine because I like how it is, and it works fine. So some will stay block built and some won't. So most of the ones in this hallway will be fine, and this elephant right here, he'll probably become an arm stand model somewhere later. I've also added the cutouts and everything around the build, like this dog right here, and the wardrobes with everything inside it, and this area which will connect to the big top section of the game. Then inside the office, this is where I've changed the most. As you can see, I've changed the office the most from where the time lapse. Now moving on to the armor stands, as you can see, I've actually already made them. As you can see, here's Monty with his banjo, and then his hat right here made out of a bamboo trapdoor, and his snout. Then we have Mr. Hippo with his little stick, which can help him play the violin, which is in his other hand. Now over here is Mr. Helpful, and this design was thankfully given to me from Welpaper, one of my friends, who made a really good high detail model, and he let me use it for this video. Now he'll probably be changed in the future when I come up with an original design, but just for episode 1 he'll stay there like that. Now over here, this is where I want to start getting the functionality part in. I want to add the data diver to make the doors open in the location. So it would walk up to the door, it would open, and then it would walk away, it would close. It's kind of like how I've done with this door here. As you can see, I walk up to it, the door will close, and then I walk away and the door will close. And you walk up to it and open into the main room where you can see Mr. Helpful and the rest of the show stage room. So regarding the data diver right here, as you can see, I've added the door right here, and you may have noticed I've replaced this present with a slab so it can fit this player head with the first symbol of the Murray Costume Matter security symbol. And in my inventory, I've now been given a data diver, where it says the key to accessing terminals in the MCM facility. And as you can see, there's an interaction here, and if I walk away, I will no longer have the data diver, and if I'll hit it, nothing will happen. And if I walk up to it and I get the data diver, but I still don't hit it with the data diver, once again, nothing will happen. But if I finally use the data diver, it will then open the door up, where we can now walk through. And obviously when we walk up or walk away, we don't always have the data diver in our inventory, and the door will only close when we go away from it. So we'll have to use the data diver to open the door, but the door will only close when we walk a certain distance away, so it doesn't keep opening and closing throughout the entire map. And the way this works here is this setup right here, with the door frames over here that will be cloned, and then the actual animation itself. Now right here, this is where everything will work, where it will give you the item of the data diver in this chest right here, where over here, it will take it out of your inventory, which when you're not close enough to it, and then this command blocks will make sure it sets a redstone block when the door needs to be opened, and then a comparator will be set in front of this command block over here with all the frames, where this one over here will remove the data entity always from the interaction, so it will always be interacted with. Then over here we'll set a comparator right here, then it will power this and activating the door frame, then removing this when it is no longer needed to be used, so it can be reused over and over again. Now that's going to wrap it up for today's video, and I really enjoyed building this location, because it's unlike any other location I've ever built before, and I really enjoyed it with all of the mascot shelves and boxes scattered all around the location, and it was really fun to put together all the mascot suits and marking out all the locations, and I can't wait to make further episodes in this series. And I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you in the next episode of recreating Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic in Minecraft.